Good evening, everyone. Can I have your attention? We're just going to start the meeting now. So we're going to start with the pledge. Board President advised members of the audience that they may address the board regarding agenda items after the superintendent's report. Only those members whose names and addresses are listed on the sign-in sheet available prior to the start of the meeting will be recognized during new business. The chairperson will limit discussions of any item by the public to 3 minutes in order for the board to expeditiously conduct business. Going to turn over to Mr. Manzi.
Thank you, Mr. Dorian. So the last few weeks have been quite busy but exciting to say the least. RCK, JFK, and the middle school music departments have completed their winter concerts and have done a great job. So congratulations to all of our middle school students who performed for us. I want to give the Board of Education, our parents and staff a huge thank you for your continued support of the arts. The high school will be hosting their concert Monday and Tuesday night next week at 7:30 in the auditorium at the high school. Please attend if possible. It's a real treat to hear our students perform. This evening we have a few student recognitions and presentations. So at this time I will ask Mr. Restivo to please come up to the podium to start with the first two recognitions.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Education and District Office personnel for their continued support of all of our athletic programs here in the East Islip School District. I would like to call up Coach Schiebler and Kelsey Krusha at this time to recognize Kelsey and the East Islip Connecticut swimming and diving team for their accomplishments, especially Kelsey in her great career here at East Islip as a participant as a diver on the combined varsity swim team.
Good evening, Board of Education. Thank you for having me. It's not hard to come up with good things to say about this incredible young lady. Kelsey Krusha joined the combined Connecticut East Islip swimming team in 7th grade. Since her first year, she has qualified for the county championships. She's a dedicated, committed student athlete who doesn't know the words "I can't." Kelsey is so self-driven and focused, it's no wonder she has accomplished what she has accomplished to date. She's a 3-time league champion, 2-time county champion, first one in Connecticut history, and has qualified for the New York State Championships 3 years in a row. Her determination and athleticism earned her all league, all county, all state, and all Long Island honors. This year, the Suffolk County Coaches Association selected Kelsey as the Diver of the Year. I can't begin to express how proud we are of all of her accomplishments and contributions she's made to our team and to herself. She'll be diving next year at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, Division I. We wish her the best of luck in her future and hope she leaves with some great memories we shared together. Love you, Kels. Thank you. Thank you.
Krusha, would you like to come up?
Yes. Jim and Jen?
Sure. We'll take a picture, then we'll take a picture.
How about take a picture, then we'll take a picture.
We'll take a picture. Stand next to you. We're going to take the top off. Take the jacket off.
Ready? Go.
One more. Okay, moving on to our varsity football program. They had a very successful season, county championship, Long Island championship. Their hard work, along with all of our other student athletes here, does not go unnoticed. I would like to take this opportunity to not just thank the football parents, but all of our athletic parents for their continued support for all of our athletic teams, taking them to practice games since they probably in kindergarten and probably even before that as well. So moving along, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Coach Champy, Coach Taramina, Coach Corcoran, Coach Nunez, and Coach Blyberg, and our varsity football team to please come on up here and be recognized by our Board of Education. Slide down more.
Guys, we're gonna need some of the players to go
let's
up.
Let's get a couple of let me get about 8 of you. We're gonna go up on the stage.
Guys, can some of you follow up on the stage?
Guys, a couple of us. Let's go on stage.
Let's try to fill in a row in the back. We're doing pictures.
Are we all in? Yeah, we're fitting everybody in. Good.
All right, I'd like to thank Mr. Manzo and the Board of Education for having us here tonight. Just say a couple of words. I want to thank my coaching staff. The 7 coaches I have with me are all East Islip graduates. 2 of them have been with me since 2001 on and off, and the other 5 all played for me and have come back and are now on the staff. Their dedication to the kids in the community is a big reason why we've had the success we've had. But most importantly, you win a championship like this, it really is all about the players. You can't do it without them. And just to give you a little bit of idea of everything they've done, I looked at our calendar from last year, and our first off-season workout last year was on November 30th. We played the Long Island Championship game this year on November 24th. So the kids basically went a full calendar year working towards what they eventually achieved. And, in a day and age where kids don't get a lot of credit anymore or people tell kids they can't do things like used to be done. You can't push kids. You can't discipline kids. You can't make them work because kids just don't want to do that anymore. Well, I think this group of kids is a classic example of the fact that if you do it and if you give it to the kids and you push them and you hold them accountable, they will respond and rise to the occasion and achieve ultimately whatever the highest level they can achieve is. And I think these kids are a great example of that, and they have a bright future ahead of them. They're a great group of young men outside of the football field, and they're going to be very, very successful whatever they do in the rest of their life. All right, guys, congratulations, great year, and thank you for being here tonight.
I'm good now. Yeah, guys. sit tight for the rest of the recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Steve Owen, Coach Champion. Appreciate the words you share with the community and the Board of Education this evening. And again, congratulations to our Long Island champions and to Kelsey on her great accomplishment. Our next recognition will be introduced by Mrs. LaPiccolo. Yeah.
Good evening. So these are some of my SAD members that were available tonight. They're very, very active in lots of different things. Every club, every sport, these students are super involved and have, sheer commitment to everything that they're working on. So, kudos to you guys taking the time out tonight to come, because I know you're involved in a lot of different things. So good for you to get recognized tonight and step up to be recognized. You worked very hard for that. SAD is here to speak about our Red Ribbon program, which we've been doing for over 20 years in our district. And I'm going to have my president, Florence Gonzalez, speak about it.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Florence Gonzalez, president of SAD. Tonight we are highlighting our Red Ribbon program. Red Ribbon started because a DEA agent was killed during a big drug bust. His family hung red ribbons around their neighborhood to remind people that drugs and alcohol are destructive decisions and can harm people. The officer's family partnered with SAD and other organizations to start education programs to help students not make destructive decisions and use drugs or alcohol. SAD visits both JFK and RCK and speaks to every fifth grader in the school district about staying away from drugs and alcohol and about making good decisions. While at the schools, we run a Red Ribbon contest for the best anti-drug slogan. Tonight we want to highlight our winners, June Ann Ritter from JFK and Angelina Hannon from RCK. Please come join us. Congratulations.
We'd also like to call up their principals if they're here, and then teachers if they're here. Come on up, please. So first I want to have one of my SAD members read, because I think JFK was not able to come tonight, so I'm going to have you read it.
So, June Ann, that's not currently here, her slogan was, "Life is better drug-free, be the person you need to be."
Oh, here?
Angela.
Don't do drugs. It's okay not to say be safe. Do SAD, not drugs. Alcohol. Back.
So each of the winners won a $25 gift card to Target, and as well as a backpack and some other items. So congratulations, and thank you for coming up with such a great slogan for us, and making good decisions, all right? Very proud of you.
Thank you, Mr. LaPiccolo, and congratulations, Angelina and June. You are great examples of EI pride, so thanks for being here. I would like to this time ask Mr. Hansen to please come forward for the next presentations.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about a program that I'm extremely proud of at the middle school, but I will not take any credit for because it was something that existed before I got there, but is a tremendous program. A few years ago, one of our teachers, Carolyn Hummel, a 6th grade teacher, thought that the school and the world and the community would do well with a little more kindness, and thought that we could treat each other a little bit better. She came up with a program called Cool to Be Kind. It's not a club, she's not an advisor, she doesn't receive a stipend, but she does a tremendous amount of work. And I want to promote, she works with and not just, she works with the students in our building. The students have done a tremendous amount of work over the last couple of years, not only just promoting kindness, something we all need more of, but raising thousands and thousands of dollars to connect our students to the community, show kindness to the community. So quickly, I just want to talk about some of the programs that she has done and some of the programs that are going on now, along with the students in our building. She works very closely with our student council, who's the advisor is Kristen Nolan. A lot of the students that are involved in our student council, which I'm going to invite up a couple in a minute to say a few words, are involved in the Cool to Be Kind initiative. So it starts with, we start off every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, the kids wear these t-shirts. They order the t-shirts every Tuesday where they're wearing them to promote to be kind. This year, if you go to the next slide, we added hoodies. So if you ever visit on the first Tuesday of the month, you'll see most of the building and most of the staff and a lot of the teachers in the district wear the shirts. Just some of the things, that's one of the murals in our building that reminds everybody what day we're going to be wearing the shirts. But I just want to go through a couple of programs if you want to move forward. So because it is the holiday season, one of the programs they're doing right now is the kids are signing up. And what's nice about the program is they always connect a fun activity in the building for the kids to enjoy and the kids to connect with each other with a way to raise money for outside organizations. So the December fundraiser, which they did last year and this year, kids sign up to play Kahoot during their lunch periods, and they get like a little, kind of like a little toy token as they sign up. Sometimes it's a bracelet, sometimes it's a little token. This year and last year, they raised money for the Momentum Rehabilitation Program, which is center, which is down in East Islip. They raised money to buy mugs for the patients there, and they serve them. They get served hot chocolate. This year, they doubled their goal, so they had extra money. So this year, the patients down there are going to have warm feet because we're also buying them nice, cozy little socks to go along with the holiday. Another program, if you move forward, that they take part in, these are some pictures of the kids as they package the mugs and the gifts that get delivered there. And these are some of they make cards as well for some of the patients there. In February, now there's a different program every month, but I'm just going to highlight a couple of the bigger ones. In February, one of our staff members had a child that had a rare form of kidney cancer when he was younger and was treated at Cohen's Children's Hospital. So last year, they sell Valentine grams. Last year they sold bears, and the kids can purchase them and they put a little message and they can deliver them to a staff member, a friend, and then on that one day that week they get delivered to their homerooms. This year they're doing little stuffed dogs. Last year it sold out, this year they expect to sell out. This fundraiser last year alone raised $2,000. Then they take the money and they donate it to Cohen's Children's Hospital, where the kids at Cohen's Children's Hospital have an Amazon wish list, I'm sorry. And they order toys, and the toys are delivered to them on Valentine's. These are the bears from last year. Some of our staff and students, they would set up in the cafeteria and sell these grams. And that's actually Claire Voss, that's her son. He was there to deliver the toys at Cohen. Some other things before I wrap this up. In the past, so in September, the t-shirt sales and the bracelet sales, they raised money for the Spectrum of Dreams. They raised almost $1,000 this year. In October, they raised money for breast cancer awareness. They've raised money in the past for Give a Note, which sponsors and gets instruments for kids in musical programs. They've raised money for New York's homeless shelters, and they even actually had a fundraiser last year where we called it Being Kind to Ourselves, or they called it for Being Kind to Ourselves, where they raised money to buy games and equipment for recess, outdoor and indoor recess. So moving forward, just recently we started an SEL, Social Emotional Learning Committee, of staff members at the high school. We have over 20 members on the committee. The goal of that committee, with permission of Carolyn Hummel, because we didn't want to steal any of her ideas, is to grow this program. It's a homegrown program, it's an organic program, it never existed before, it was her idea. But it's caught on its own, and our goal is to grow this program, to build on the programs that already do and add to that, to promote kindness in the building and keep this connection where the kids can feel connected to the community and spread kindness throughout the community. So at this time, I just want to introduce two students, because it's not an official organization. There's no president, there's no vice president, they don't have officers. These kids just volunteer, and any students can get involved. The student council, a lot of the student council does get involved, but at this time I'm going to introduce, if they can call, Mark Spees and Dennis Medley, two 7th grade students that are in our student council, but also have been involved in a lot of the events that are Cool to Be Kind has taken part in. And they're just going to say a few words about their experience and what they've learned and what they've seen being involved in the program. This is Mark.
Student government, we have raised money to raise money to have games and make outdoor recess toys, like Mr. Hansen said. And we made enough money to have a whole room dedicated for games and board games. And my English class will have one whole period dedicated to playing those games.
Also in student government, we also raise money and buy dogs for research tours, like you said. And we raise money and we could donate it.
Thank you, guys. Good job. And like I said, and what they get to experience is, it's promoting kindness between, everyone in our building community, but it's also to see that connection on how to spread it outside the community. And like I said, it's something that, it's a great program, and it's something we're looking to build on, and hopefully next year we can come back and talk about all the great things that the program has done. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to introduce two of our staff members from the middle school, Miss Laura O'Donnell, who's one of our phys ed teachers and the advisor for our Girls Leaders Club, and Stacy Bruner, one of our guidance counselors for the next part of the program.
You, sir. Okay, thank you so much to Mr. Manzo and the board for having us here this evening to talk about the implementation of a mindfulness program at the middle school. The idea of having this program started with a conversation I had with one of our middle school students, and she also had with one of her other teachers. That conversation turned into an email sent to Mr. Hansen and CC to myself and Mrs. Bruno, which parlayed into a meeting and a PowerPoint by that student saying that we have a lot of students in our middle school that struggle with anxiety, and maybe we should start to think more, I'm sorry, is this me? Maybe trying to think more of how we could address those anxieties and come up with more opportunities for them when they are struggling during the school day. So we came up with a couple of things during that meeting. We walked out of that meeting, I would say, with 3 goals in mind. And that was first to bring awareness, I'm going to refer to my notes, bring awareness to students, staff, and administrators of the growing population of students that are struggling with anxiety. Second was to provide the resources for those students when they are at school and they are struggling. What can we do to help them out during the school day? And the third thing was to teach and promote the art of mindfulness. So having left the meeting, we did implement a couple of things. We started Mindful Mondays, which we start off in the early morning announcements, where we have a positive quote to start our week. The Girls Leaders Club took some of those quotes and we made posters, and I'm gonna ask Breezy and Joanna if you can come on up with some samples of those posters, if you don't mind just standing up and holding those up. So the girls leaders took these quotes and they made some fabulous posters, and we put them all around the building. And that's part of the initiative. But we'd also like to continue to move forward and add on to some more programming. I'd like to introduce the student that started all of this. So Isabella Garcia, if you don't mind joining us. So Isabella also wrote a letter to the board, a petition letter, and we passed that letter around, I think, for 2 or 3 days, and only the 7th and 8th grade lunch periods, and we had nearly 150 signatures on her petition letter. So you want to go ahead and read the letter?
Members of the school board, my name is Isabella Garcia, and I am currently a student at East Islip Middle School. I'm writing to you today to request the implementation of a mindfulness program at our school. I believe that introducing mindfulness practices into our school community can have a positive impact on the well-being and academic performance of our students. Mindfulness is a practice that encourages self-awareness, stress reduction, and emotional regulation. Students like myself often find themselves with high levels of stress, anxiety, and other emotional challenges. These issues can make education and how we feel in a school environment more difficult for me and many others. By creating a mindfulness program in our school, we can give students essential tools to better handle their emotions, reduce stress, and improve focus during classes. I would also like to ask that we create a den zen like the one in the high school. I believe that this room can have as important an effect as it does in the high school as it might in the middle school. I understand that creating this program will require time, effort, and resources. However, I believe that the long-term benefits, such as improved student well-being and academic success, will make it a worthwhile investment for our school. I kindly request that you consider my proposal and take the necessary steps to create a better school environment for all students. I'm willing to work with teachers, administrators, and students to help in any way I can to make this program a reality. Thank you for taking the time to consider my request.
Thank you, that was great. I'm going to also at this time to ask Eva Doherty to come up. She's also in the Girls Leaders, and she is going to just quickly go through with you the PowerPoint presentation that Isabella did produce on herself, and just share some of her insights with us.
Hello. Can we go back a slide? Just one. Thanks. So a lot of times when people start talking about mindfulness, they think of yoga or that weird tree pose that everyone seems to associate it with. It's not. It's not necessarily yoga. I mean, it can be, but there's other things that you can do, like having a fidget toy or other stress relievers, like listening to music or going for a little jog or like taking a walk. There is stuff that you can help. It just doesn't necessarily have to be yoga. Now you can go switch the slides. Mindfulness is not such a scary thing because a lot of people think that, oh, I'm doing mindfulness. It's not really a thing that people really consider because they think it's cheesy or that it won't work for them. But it is. Mindfulness is when you're not focused on what's happening. You're focused on what's happening in the present moment. Your focus isn't on what could happen or what happened. You are in the present moment and you think of nothing else. You're right there, you're focused, and it makes a difference. Now you can go to the next slide. Mindfulness is needed in the middle school because right off the top of my head, I can name 10 to 12 kids who I know, who are my friends, who suffer with anxiety. And when I say anxiety, I don't mean like they get nervous over a test or quiz. I'm saying they have full-blown panic attacks because they don't have the necessary resources that we need. We need it because there are so many kids in just 8th grade alone that I've met and that I've interacted with who have these problems. And like, I do a lot of stuff. I'm president of National Junior Honor Society, I'm president of Triumph, like there's a lot of stuff that I do. And I speak a lot of times. And people ask me like, how do you speak all this times? I'm like, it's not because I'm not nervous, because like 10 minutes ago I was scared. Like, I was like really scared. But I walk out here and what people don't understand is like, you gotta fake it till you make it. Like half the stuff I'm saying here isn't on the slides, I mean. But studies have shown that when students practice mindfulness and what they do can have an increase in test scores, like what we need. Like middle school, it's a tough time for a lot of kids because they're trying to fit in, but they're not as well. Like they want to be themselves, but they're not really at that point yet. They're like, maybe I shouldn't try out for basketball. Like there's stuff that kids have to deal with that a lot of adults I find don't really understand a lot of the times. Higher grades doesn't necessarily mean studying harder, because a lot of people I know study like 2 hours every day for a test that's like 2 months from now. It could also mean just not having the stresses that coordinate with every single middle school child. I mean, like, I walk into my math class, and one of my friends didn't do the assignment because she was out for a week. And so she was getting scared, and like my friend's prone to having panic attacks, and that's a thing that I know. So when I recognized it, I asked my teacher if I can take her to the guidance office. She's like, yeah. But what scared me is that the teachers didn't understand it, and they didn't really know what was going on. Like I noticed it like maybe 10, 15 minutes before they did. It needs to be implemented because there are so many kids who deal with this and who don't have the resources that we need. Like, we want to petition a Zen room where kids can go in those situations and not have to be so scared. Next slide. So ideas that we have, they're like, I mean, personally, fidgets work for me most of the times. And there's other stuff that you can do, like backpack decluttering, sculpting. Sculpting is really fun. But mindfulness bingo. I mean, who would think of bingo as mindfulness? There's a lot of stuff that you can do. And it really doesn't have to seem so scary to kids. Next slide. If you have any questions, it's important that you ask, because a lot of times people have questions and they don't ask, and they just deal with the questions that they have, and they don't really speak on it. Like they don't ask the questions that they need to ask. Like my friend is prone to panic attacks, and she doesn't, and she'll have a question on the homework and she won't ask the teacher because she's afraid of talking to adults. Now I can understand that, but she's your teacher. You've had her for like a few years. And it's really, you just have to be comfortable where you're at. I'm not saying you have to be like yoga, like the tree pose. But you really just want to, it's really important because a lot of people don't understand it, and I think growing up with all of these anxiety issues that we see in school or in RCK or in Connecticut or in JFK or Timber Point, there's a lot of stuff that kids need to deal with, and I think some adults don't understand that, which I hope you will. If you have any further questions, you can ask Isabella Garcia, who's standing behind me. Yeah, good job. Oh, and I take no credit for this.
Thank you, great job. Thank you.
So Isabel and Eva, I just want to thank you, the both of you, for coming and giving that presentation to us. Just on behalf of the board, I wanted to say that was a very good presentation. What you brought up is a very, very important topic. The mental health and well-being of our students is always paramount throughout the district, And I'm certain Mr. Hanson, where'd you go, Mr. Hanson? Where are you? There you are. I'm sure Mr. Hanson and the building staff will be supported in this endeavor. So thank you very much. Thank you again, ladies.
All right, that's all my report for this evening. Again, Isabella and Eva, great job. Thank you for presenting to the board today. You guys did a nice job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manzo. Congratulations to everyone that was on tonight. We greatly appreciate everyone. I just want to take a moment before I proceed on the meeting, and I just thought about years ago when I first started with the board, and we were in some turbulent times at that point in time as a community. And you know, now I look at it, and look at all these people in this room with us now, and I just kind of overcame with emotion. I'm very, very supportive and very, very happy, just reflecting upon where we were years ago to where we are right now. So, thank you. Okay, I'll be back to you. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So, Coach Champy, if everybody wants to go, I'm fine. Everybody else, if you want to go, I appreciate it. So I just wanted to thank you. Congratulations again. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the resignation, termination, leave of absences, position abolitions, employment appointments, tenure appointments, and salary changes in accordance with applicable provisions of education and civil service law. I need to take a step back. I apologize. Public comment on agenda items only. Anybody? No? Okay. I'll just read it again. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the resignations, terminations, leaves of absences, position abolitions, employment appointments, tenure appointments, and salary changes in accordance with the applicable provisions of education law and civil service law as cited in the certified personal attachments. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At this time, I would like to ask Jody Flynn to stand. As we know, tenure is a very prestigious and important milestone in a teacher's career. And tonight, Jody just received tenure. So congratulations to you. We look forward to a very long and fruitful career here in East Islip. Congratulations, Jody.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the resignations, terminations, leaves of absence, position abolitions, employment appointments, tenure appointments, and salary changes in accordance with the applicable provisions of education law and civil service law as cited in the non-certified personal attachments. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda items 8.1 through 8.12. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves consent agenda items 8.1 through 8.12 in accordance with the action presented for each item. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves a new scholarship named the Angel Bridal Scholarship in the amount of $500. Angel Bridal opened in 1989 and is a member of the School Business Partnership. The scholarship will be awarded to a graduating senior who is interested in fashion. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for this scholarship, Angel Bridal. Very appreciated. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education accept the grant award from Ruth Aswa Fund in the amount of $10,000. This grant will be used to purchase a new kiln and the supplies for the East Islip High School Art Department. Revenue code to be increased is A2705.000, and the budget codes to be increased are 2110-200-09-5150 and 2110-533-09-5150. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Grant. Appropriation changes. Be it resolved upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education approved the attached list of appropriation changes for the 2023-24 school year. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
FTK donation, be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts a donation in the amount of $4,697.18 from the FTK Foundation used for purchases supplies for the Lego clubs at JFK Elementary and RCK Elementary School. The revenue code to be increased is A2705.000. The appropriate budget codes will be increased accordingly. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, FDK, for that. Old business. Anybody have any old business? New business?
Hi, under new business, we have a new policy that is going to be approved for your approval at the next board meeting for expression of breastfeeding for our employees.
Thank you. Any other new business?
No, I just want to point out, I've been through a few of the shows last week and they were unbelievable. I'd like to commend the middle school music teachers. RCK concert was great. The RCK music teachers and staff at the JFK concert was unbelievable. I'd like to commend the music teachers in that school, as well as the Timber Point PTA, the Breakfast with Santa. I was able to attend, and that went off very well. And a lot of good things happening. As Mr. Manzo said, next week are the high school concerts. So if you want to get your spirit up a bit, go to those concerts. Our music department is next to none. Unbelievable.
Any other new business? No? So I just wanted to add kind of some sentiments that Mr. Rowan mentioned. I want to thank all the students in the music department for all the wonderful concerts. I was able to attend the middle school concert last night. It was very wonderful. Great to see a lot of community members out there. I wanted to give a shout out to the RCK 5th grade chorus for a great performance at the Chamber of Commerce tree lighting this past weekend. Mr. Ruin, Dr. Rourke, and myself were in attendance at this great community event. I also want to thank all of our PTAs for putting together great events and assemblies for all the students district-wide. You know, there's a tremendous amount of feedback that we're having from the community at large, just showing support by attending these events. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And I just wanted to add, I'm looking forward to RCK's play, Music Man. Thank you, Mr. Clancy, for all the hard work for this upcoming performance. I just wanted to add, thank you.
Just real quick, as we're getting ready to close the meeting, just want to wish our families the very best for happy and healthy holidays and a very prosperous 2024. Thank you.
Public comment? None, okay, great. The next Board of Education regular business meeting will be held on Thursday, January 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m. I get a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I just want to add, on behalf of the Board of Education, we want to wish everyone happy holidays and a happy, healthy new year. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.